guys, what's up? It's Joe Ready from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Crown Eurocars in Pinellas Park, Florida, because guess what? We have the competitor that's going to go up against that BMW X1 and the Audi Q3. This is a 2020 Mercedes Benz GLB 250. But before we dive into this compact SUV, let's talk a little bit about Mercedes Benz and their SUVs. So they really seem to have something for everybody, whether you go the GLB, the GLE, the GLC. What this GLB 250 is promising, or at least what Mercedes-Benz is promising, that you are going to get the most luxury and the most style for the money when looking at those competitors, that Q3 and the X1. One thing is for certain, that you are going to get some unique styling that is connected. They say it's connected to the G-Wagon, but you're gonna get that Mercedes-Benz luxury that you come to expect. So let's go ahead, dive into this GLB 250 and see if it stacks up against the competition. Right off the bat, you'll notice the styling for 2020. It's that very squared off, boxy look, and I think that they're really trying to take some of that love that people have for the larger SUVs, specifically that G-Wagon, and bring it into their smaller SUVs. So you're gonna have full LED headlights, daytime running lamps, and of course turn signals. You drop down. Now this is a zonk for me, is this way they made this look like a fake vent. If they would have just left it smooth, I think that would have been on the money, but it is a functional side air curtain, which is a big plus. And I do like the horizontal slots that extend out. Also on this particular white one, the way the flat black kind of wraps around that outside edge, I think gives it some nice definition. Now, when we come across that iconic logo, the Mercedes-Benz star, I'm digging the grille area. It's got a nice concave portion to it. It's got the little studded diamond design. What I don't like, and what I think is a major zonk, why didn't they hollow these out? They kind of put these nice slots in here, but they're all blocked off. It would have been nice if they were actually hollowed out, give it a little bit extra classier look. But you drop down, you got some flat black, and then I like the gloss black and the way that they kind of designed it to give it that SUV look on this particular GLB. Now, when we get up onto the hood, you're gonna get that unique Mercedes-Benz styling. You have that power bulge, two bulges on the hood. Everything else is very smooth. Nice little body line that goes towards the A-pillar on each side. But other than that, very, very smooth, very, very clean. And I think that's where Mercedes-Benz, compared to the BMW and compared to the Audi, they definitely hit the mark on a little bit better flow to their design when it comes to cleanliness. Now, sticking to the wheel and tire setup on this one, beautiful 10-spoke wheel, gloss black. Love the machined aluminum all the way around the outside. This is a 20-inch wheel, 235 on the width, 45 series sidewall. And I do like the way they bring that flat black all the way around the fender, and the way it extends a little bit gives it more of an SUV off-road style look, even though that this particular one will probably never see anything off-road unless they lose control of the vehicle, or maybe you're going to a soccer game. As we go down the side, no fake badges, no fake vents, nice, just smooth. You have gloss black on the mirror caps, slim and trim on the LED turn signals, and then I like how they went gloss black around the window treatment instead of chrome. A little bit of chrome on the door handle, nothing wrong with that, and some flat black with a little bit of gloss to tie in what's going up at the front on that lower portion there. You do have these very nice high roof rails, which I think add to the style, plus the flexibility and versatility. Put the kayaks up there. You could put your Mercedes-Benz bicycle, whatever you got, you could put it up there and go on your adventure for the day or the week or the month. One of the touches I think is smart too is what they did down here on the bottom portion of the window, top portion of the door. That nice little rise just gives it that little extra something. And then for a small SUV, massive rear quarter window, that's gonna help bring in some nice light to the back. Speaking of the back, it's clean. Now, I'm not really in love with the way that they did the roof spoiler. It sort of looks like it's an inflated, stepped on marshmallow, but it is there and it does extend out. You do have full LED on your brake lights, turn signals, and all that. We drop down. I like the chrome trim that they put on the top of the bumper. And then down below, very, very aggressive diffuser for this GLB 250. Let's do the test. That's gonna be a zonk ×2. and add another zonk on it just for the heck of it. Those are fake exhausts. They look good, but they're fake. I don't know why they do that, but that's the way of the world right now. You do have this beautiful rear diffuser area. Other than that, super clean from the back. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what's making noise out of those fake exhausts. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You have a massive hood strut to hold the hood up. Underneath the hood is going to be that 2-liter inline-4 turbocharged engine. You're looking at 221 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque. It's all routed through an 8-speed DCT, dual clutch transmission, 0 to 60 in about 6.9 seconds. MPGs 23 in the city, 30 on the highway, and the way that this particular one is set up, you're looking at weighing in at 3,638 pounds. This 2-liter is a very flexible engine for Mercedes. They use it in a lot of their different models of vehicles. On this particular one, I think you're getting a nice balance between good MPGs and some decent power. The one thing is that engine cover is just not really the greatest looking thing, but probably many people that own the GLB 250 are not going to be opening up their hood at any point during ownership. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the interior and see what big things this compact SUV is bringing to the table. All right, guys, we're inside the 2020 GLB 250 Mercedes Benz SUV. You're probably at that point, well, Joe, you've talked about the others, the competitors. How much is this one? The way that this one is optioned, you're looking at $50,600. Let's see what you get for the money. Now, to the door panels, very, very sexy. You have the white with the dark leather. The contrast stitching is beautiful, that carbon fiber and ambient lighting, which is great. Now, the big zonk is that you have heated seats, no ventilated seats at this price point. You do have a large pocket, though, down there where you could easily take a bunch. You probably put about 5 of those large Annie Ann pretzels down there and a nice bottle of Life water to wash it all down. Now, when you get to the dash, very, very far forward, and the way that they designed it is, I feel like I'm in a miniature G-Wagon, really. This whole setup right here, I do love what they do with their great AC vents, very aeronautical in design. You have the ambient lighting, the carbon fiber, the silver trim is very tasteful, and then you're gonna have 2 10.25-inch screens. Now, here's the great news is touchscreen, and there's other ways to navigate through it as well. Speaking of navigation, you click on there, there's your beautiful navigation. That's where we are at in Pinellas Park here at Crown Eurocars. You got your start-stop button, AC vents, great style. The gloss black, it looks classy. My only complaint is I could see reflection. So I could see this on the screen, and I don't know how I'm gonna love that after months of ownership of this vehicle. Now, you do have great AC controls, wireless charging, USB-C, and a 12-volt, 2 cup holders, and then here's another way to navigate through this. If you don't want to touch the screen, you have a mouse pad here, real easy to use. You go right to home, you could swipe either way you want to go. We could go into, say, comfort. So we hit on comfort, you could adjust your seats and all that good stuff. Very nice, easy to do. So that's the great news is it's very easy to get to the controls and have everything at your fingertips. Now, you do have a nice dynamic switch mode, which I'll hit that. You do have your 4 different modes: individual, sport, comfort, and eco. That's going to adjust steering, suspension, throttle, all that good stuff. You have a nice palm rest here. I like the silver trim. You got a little, this is nice for those emergency German chocolate Twinkies you just keep down there, just in case of emergency. Armrest is actually on the softer side. Open up Bombay doors. You got enough room in there for a Big Mac and 2 USB-Cs. That's nice. Close it up. Seats, I like the style. They remind me of a Zebra though. You got the black, the white finish. It's very classy looking though. You have the nice hamstring extension, and it really fits the overall, the way that they have the exterior colors matching on the interior is very tasteful. No sunroof, but plenty of headroom, which is wonderful. But why don't you come over to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of this Mercedes Benz GLB 250. All right, guys, business time. You do have 3 memory settings for the driver's seat, which is nice. And then here is your Mercedes GLB 250 key fob. Very tasteful, a little bit of nice brushed aluminum look, and then it's just flat black on the back. And it's nice because it slides right into your pocket very easily. Seats are great. The bottom is a little small. I'm noticing that a little more and more that I'm in these Mercedes is that the bottom is just a little narrow. I wish it was a little wider. Steering wheel, though, is right on the money. The thickness is perfect. Love the brushed aluminum. You got that iconic Mercedes Benz logo there. A little bit of silver. You do have paddles to go up and down the 8-speed automatic transmission, that dual clutch transmission. And then this has the two 10.25-inch screens. So you have the center display, very nicely done. And then you have the one to show your navigation and all that. And then it also will allow you to go through your different modes as well. Depending on whatever mode you go in, it kind of changes up the gauges a little bit just to make that driving experience a little bit more fun, whatever you're feeling that particular day. But why don't we check out the back seat and see how your passengers are going to love this GLB 250. All right, guys, we're in the all new, remember this is all new, never been done before by Mercedes, GLB 250. This technically is the mid-row. I know that sounds crazy for a compact SUV this size to have 3 rows, but it does, and I will show you that third row. Now, the great news is this is where it really earns its keep. The amount of room I have in here, headroom, is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Everything else feels really great. If you're a parent, you're going to love the back of the seats because it's plastic. I'm not a parent, so I'm going to zonk it. The plastic just doesn't feel Mercedes Benz, so I am going to zonk that. I do love the AC vents though. Little tiny cubby for your atomic fireballs, and then watch this. You want connectivity, they got you covered. Home power source, 2 USB-Cs. I love the way it kind of just tucks out of the way when it's not being used. Seats do slide, which is great, and they also recline a little bit, so you could actually adjust where you want that seat back to be. Armrest is as hard as a German rock. There's no cushion there whatsoever, but you do have 2 nice sized cup holders where you can get your super big gulp and put it in there. And when you're not using it, you just put it right out of the way. But overall, the space here is awesome. Let's see what the third row is gonna be like in this GLB 250. All right, guys, I thought I had to stop taking one for the team back in my college days, but it looks like I'm gonna take one for the team right now. I'm gonna showcase the third row. Now, third row is not really meant for an adult. It's really gonna be meant for that emergency situation where you find out that you had a kid that you didn't know about and you need to put them and take them somewhere. So we're gonna pull this down like that. You do have a little landing pad, but I'm actually gonna go over the landing pad and kind of just shimmy in. Ugh, golly. So here we are inside the back here. I'm not sliding over. There's no way in God's green earth that my legs are going to be able to slide over just because of how cramped it is back here. I'll even pull this back. So what's nice is you could actually adjust from the back here, and what I'll do is I'll kind of pull that one a little forward, but I feel like I'm in a jail cell. So if you want to lock your kids up for punishment, this would be a great place. Just don't do it on a hot summer day because you probably would get yourself in trouble with the law. But why don't we check out the cargo area and see how much room there is for your belongings. All right, guys, time to open up the back. Real easy, nice electric assist, opens very quickly. Now with those seats up, you can see that you've really minimized how much room you have. Now you do have some storage underneath there, and you could pull this panel out. But other than that, it's extremely, extremely tight back here. Let me go ahead. I'm going to fold the seats down for you because that's what you're probably going to want to do and just keep them down. And it's real easy. You just pull on the red tabs and nicely they go down very, very simply. Here's the great news is that for that third row, as crazy it sounds, I couldn't even see it because I'm so big. I couldn't even see it. You do have 2 USB-Cs and you have nice little cubby area for a Snickers or 2, which is nice. That to me is mind-blowing because you know and I know that we've been in larger vehicles where you don't get that. 22 cubic feet of space is what you're looking at. You fold that middle row down or the back row. It's hard to say that that's actually a middle row. You fold that down, you're looking at 62 cubic feet of space. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the best part. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's see how this small SUV handles the road. All right, guys, we left Crown Eurocars. We're in the all-new 2020 GLB 250. It really does feel, it's crazy. It feels like a small G-Wagon. It really does. The way the dash is set up, especially if you're looking at a new G-Wagon with the way that they have the infotainment and the gauge screen setup and everything, you really get that feel in here. Looking out over the hood, great visibility. Seats are comfortable, except for the bottom portion. The bottom portion is just a little narrow for me, but the rest of the seat is very, very comfortable. Side mirrors work great. Looking out the back windows, super large and in charge. And this Mercedes Benz steering wheel, there's a lot of performance cars that I've been in that don't have as nice a steering wheel as this one is. All right guys, I have it in sport mode. Let's go ahead and do a little acceleration test on throttle. Transmission drops down very quickly and you are off and running. Super smooth, the shifts are smooth. It's got a little bit of a sound that's obviously being pumped into the cabin. But other than that, ride's very, very nice. And in sport mode, I like the way that it holds the gear so that as soon as I get back on throttle, it's a little bit more instantaneous. I think the ambient lighting is cute. I don't know if that's a necessity, but especially at night, you can make out with the ambient lighting a little bit hotter maybe than if you didn't have ambient lighting. But driving down the road noise is pretty decent. Wind noise is nice. It's super smooth. I really think the X1 and the Q3 have something to worry about with this GLB 250 for sure. But I'm going to go over these manhole covers here. It really soaks up the bumps nicely. And I'm in, like I said, I'm in sport mode. So let's see how she handles real quick in this right-hand sweeper. On the brakes. Into this right-hand bend, back on throttle. Very nice. Look at that. It's super smooth as we just gobble up onto this Volkswagen in front of us. Very smooth. Now, there was a bit of body roll, but this is a GLB 250. It's not a AMG C63S or something like that, but I'm telling you, it's quite peppy. I love this. The steering wheel is my favorite part. The dash, as of right now, it's not a sunny day in Florida right now, but the dash doesn't have too much glare. I just would really like to see this on a super, super sunny day, but I think your passengers in that mid row are gonna be happy. I'm just gonna call it the back row, to be honest with you, because you gotta be somebody who's the size of a Cabbage Patch Kid to fit in that third row. That's how small it is back there. But the people in the back row will definitely be comfortable, or technically the mid row of this GLB 250, but very versatile SUV. I'm quite impressed with what Mercedes has brought to the table. What's really nice is that you obviously have all the connectivity. You got the wireless charging. I wish there was a cover though, some kind of lid over all that when you're not using it, but they definitely have you covered with USBs, especially all the way in that mini row in the back. I'm still blown away. We've been in vehicles way bigger, way more expensive than this GLB 250, and they don't have any connectivity in a third row, but this GLB 250 brings it. Driving in traffic, super, super smooth. The visibility is what's king in here, and plenty of head and shoulder room. Even up front, guys, we made a U-turn. U-turn is very, very easy to do in this GLB 250, even with people blocking you. That's the nice thing about this vehicle, is that it's not too large to where you can navigate through very, very tight spaces, and you don't feel super high, you know. It's at a great height, and the way that you're located on the interior just overall is just very, very well laid out. All right, guys, hopefully this gave you a nice overall feel of what this GLB 250 is all about. We're gonna get back to Crown Eurocars and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been another wonderful day here at Crown Eurocars. I definitely got to thank Nicole and the rest of the crew getting us this all new GLB 250. Is it a competitor against the Q3 and the X1 and totally dominate those other two German brands? I'm gonna say they have definitely brought some big things in a small package, especially if you ever do need that third row capability. But if it's small SUVs, luxury SUVs like this GLB 250 you want to see on Ready's Rides, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Ready's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description, get yourself some Ready's Rides merch. Got to get up to Big Guns McGee. Tom Motioner working this camera. He refused to get in the third row. I understand, Tom. Thank you for your hard work, though. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.